I'm 81 years old and I'm sitting alone in the house we shared for almost 4 decades, trying to understand how I managed to lose the woman I loved without ever really leaving her. She's been gone for 3 years now, not just gone from the house, gone from the world. And what surprises me most is how quiet regret can be. It doesn't shout. It doesn't demand attention. It just settles in and waits. I'm not telling this story to feel better. At my age, feeling better isn't really the point anymore. I'm telling it because time has thinned out around me, and there aren't many places left to hide from the truth. When you're young, you think losing someone looks like a sudden ending, an argument, a betrayal, a dramatic goodbye. For me, it looked like 35 years of emotional distance, polite mornings, shared dinners, separate inner lives. And by the time I noticed what it had cost us, she was already too tired to cross the distance I'd helped create. We met when I was 27 and she was 25. I remember thinking she had the calmest eyes I'd ever seen. Not shy, not loud, just steady. I was ambitious back then, not in a flashy way. I just wanted to be dependable, a good provider, a man people could rely on. She liked that about me. I think she felt safe. And I liked that she didn't ask too much of me at first. We married after 2 years, a small wedding, nothing fancy. We both said we didn't need a big fuss. That became a theme, though I didn't know it yet. Our early years were full of ordinary happiness, morning coffee together, her humming while she cooked, me fixing things around the house, feeling useful. I worked long hours, but it felt justified. We wanted a home, stability. Later, children. She never complained outright. She'd mention missing me, but lightly, like she didn't want to sound ungrateful. I'd tell her it was temporary, just a busy season, things would slow down.
They never really did. When the kids came, the house filled with noise and schedules and responsibility. I told myself I was doing what a good husband does. I provided, I showed up physically. What I didn't do was show up emotionally, not because I didn't care, because I didn't know how to stop moving long enough to notice what was slipping. She would try to talk to me at night about her day, about worries she couldn't quite explain. I was tired, always tired. I'd listen with half my attention, nodding, offering solutions when she wasn't asking for any. Sometimes she'd stop mid-sentence and say, "Never mind." I let that happen too easily. I thought peace meant no conflict. I didn't realize silence can be its own kind of damage. Years went by like that. Not bad years, just full ones, birthdays, school events I missed, or arrived late to, anniversaries celebrated with nice dinners but shallow conversation. She stopped reaching for my hand as often.
I noticed, but I didn't ask why. We still lived together, still shared a bed, still functioned as a family. From the outside, we probably looked solid. Inside, something was thinning. She started spending more time on her own, reading, gardening, taking long walks. I told myself she was independent, strong. I admired that without realizing it was partly learned loneliness. Sometimes she'd say things like, "Do you remember when we used to talk for hours?" I'd laugh and say, "Life gets busy." That answer satisfied me. It didn't satisfy her. There was no big fight, no ultimatum, just a slow closing of doors I didn't bother to notice closing. When the kids grew up and moved out, the house got quieter. I thought that would bring us back together. Instead, it revealed how far apart we already were. We ate dinner across from each other, exchanging updates like co-workers. I asked about her day out of habit, not curiosity. She answered politely. Sometimes I'd catch her looking at me like she was deciding whether to say something. Most of the time, she didn't. I didn't push. I was relieved. I thought comfort meant not disturbing the balance. I was wrong. The turning point didn't come with shouting or tears. It came with a doctor's appointment. She had been tired for months. Weight loss, we explained away. A cough that wouldn't leave. When they said the word cancer, it landed quietly between us. Suddenly I wanted to talk, to connect, to say all the things I'd postponed. But illness changes the rhythm of everything. Days became appointments. Nights became exhaustion. I sat by her bed, holding her hand, feeling closer than I had in years and farther than ever. I told her I was there. She smiled gently. One night she said, "I wish we'd known each other better when we were younger." It wasn't accusatory. It wasn't angry. That's what made it unbearable. I wanted to argue, to say we did know each other, that we built a life. But lying there, listening to her breathing, I knew what she meant. We had shared time, not ourselves. In her last months, she talked more openly than she ever had before, about feeling invisible, about learning not to expect too much. She wasn't blaming me, she was just telling the truth. I apologized more times than I can count. She told me she knew I loved her. Love wasn't the question, presence was. When she died, the house didn't feel empty right away. It felt unfinished. I kept thinking of conversations we never had, moments I chose work or comfort over connection. I told myself for decades that there would be more time, time after retirement, time when things settled. Time doesn't wait for readiness. What can't be fixed is not just her absence. It's the version of us we never allowed to exist. I can't go back and sit with her on those nights she reached for me emotionally. I can't ask her now what she needed when she still needed it. I can't undo the way she learned to carry her feelings alone while lying next to me. That knowledge stays. Now at 81, days move slowly. Too slowly sometimes. I find myself talking to her out loud, telling her about small things, things I should have shared years ago. I don't expect answers, I just don't want silence anymore. If you're listening to this and you're younger, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I don't believe in lectures. I just want you to know that love can be lost without anyone walking away. That distance doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it shows up as being busy, as being practical, as assuming tomorrow is guaranteed. I thought being reliable was enough. I thought providing was the same as being present. I was wrong. If this meant something to you, you don't need to change your life overnight. Just notice the moments you're postponing. They have a way of becoming permanent. As for me, I'm learning to live with what can't be changed. I water the garden she loved. I keep the house as she left it. I carry her memory carefully. Not with drama, with honesty. I don't have many years left. That's not a complaint. It's just a fact. And if there's one thing age has finally made clear, it's this. Time doesn't run out all at once. It slips away quietly while you're busy believing you have plenty of it left.